We're moving ahead on schedule with Ragged Island. What are we going to do?
Hurricane Irma tore through homes, government buildings, and schools, most of which are still in a state of disrepair.
Well, 9 months after Hurricane Irma, Ragged Island remains devastated. With very little access to much-needed supplies, residents have been left to fend for themselves. This as we're just days away from what meteorologists say will be an above-average hurricane season. Kyle Joaquin tells us more.
You see how the government could stay right back, relax, and even come here and even try to help the people.
Despite being decked out in her F&M campaign paraphernalia, Wallace isn't feeling the government at the moment.
You see them come back here and do anything for us? We ain't done yet. I mean, absolutely nothing. You see anything? I lost all of these in the hurricane. My kitchen, the roof off of this. Just well say my house is the only thing that didn't go.
Throughout the island, you'd see piles of plywood and other building supplies, signs that efforts are being made to rebuild structures on the island. But aside from the cleared streets, you would still find downed utility poles and scattered debris, almost as if the storm had just left weeks prior. The government's administrative building is still a mess with the roof caved in. To make matters worse, due to the destruction of the water and sewage facility on the island, residents only receive running water once a week.
It's like going back 50 years, you know.
Louis Pintard has called Ragged Island home for decades. When we visited the island, Pintard was spending the day cleaning up scraps of wood and other debris from repairs being done on his home. His house has no roof, and there are plastic barrels, pieces of metals, and trash scattered about. But it's the feeling of being neglected by government that's been dominant throughout the island.
Well, as a Bahamian, I feel like we are being neglected. Because you hear the government did this for other countries that was affected by the same storm, but right here now it's no big money to get Ragged Island back on the go. At least the islanders. But the government really haven't come and do no assistance at all,
And that same feeling of abandonment and neglect is familiar to the Wallace family, more so as another hurricane season is set to begin in 4 days.
So, you thought this was a caring government. Well, they were in opposition. Listen to what Peter Turnquest said about borrowing monies to help hurricane victims while in opposition. Peter, the puppet Turnquest.
Topping news tonight, the political sparring continues over government's plan to borrow $150 million to help rebuild from damage caused by Hurricanes Matthew and Joaquin. Free National Movement Deputy Leader Peter Turnquest, who represents a constituency on one of the hardest hit islands, said he's not too sure about more borrowing.
I am very reluctant to borrow $1. These are times that call for sacrifice. I am very reluctant to borrow $1.